The year is 2025. Self-driving cars are no longer a futuristic fantasy. They are a reality, gliding through our streets, promising a world free from traffic jams and fender benders. But amidst this technological marvel, a nagging question arises. Are these autonomous vehicles making us lazier? To explore this, I decided to embark on a personal experiment. For 1 week, I would relinquish control, surrendering my daily commute to the whims of a self-driving car. My usual routine involves a brisk walk to the train station, followed by a short train ride and a final walk to my destination. It's a routine that keeps me active, engaged with my surroundings, and, dare I say, somewhat connected to the rhythm of the city. But, for this experiment, those walks would be replaced by the sterile confines of a self-driving car. The train ride, too, would be sacrificed at the altar of autonomous convenience. As I settled into the plush leather seats of the autonomous vehicle, a wave of conflicting emotions washed over me. On the one hand, there was a sense of liberation, a freedom from the drudgery of navigating traffic. But there was also a twinge of unease, a feeling that I was relinquishing not just the steering wheel, but also a part of my autonomy. Little did I know, this experiment would reveal far more than just the potential for increased laziness. It would force me to confront the complex and multifaceted impact of self-driving cars on our physical, cognitive, and social well-being. My initial days of autonomous commuting were marked by a noticeable decrease in physical activity. The steps I usually took, the ones that kept my heart rate up and my muscles engaged, were gone, replaced by the passive act of being chauffeured around. It was a stark reminder of how easily technology can erode our physical exertion, even in seemingly small ways. While I might not have been training for a marathon with my previous commute, those walks did add up. They provided a baseline level of activity that is easily lost when we outsource even short journeys to machines. Studies have already shown a correlation between increased sedentary behavior and the use of ride-hailing services, and it's not a stretch to imagine self-driving cars exacerbating this trend. The potential consequences of this decreased activity are significant. Obesity, heart disease, and other health problems are all linked to sedentary lifestyles. And while self-driving cars might seem like a futuristic luxury now, their widespread adoption could have a profound impact on public health in the years to come. Of course, one could argue that the time freed up by not driving could be used for more intentional exercise. But realistically, how many of us are going to use that extra time to hit the gym or go for a run? The allure of convenience is powerful, and it's all too easy to slip into a pattern of increased inactivity when our cars are doing the driving for us. As the days of my experiment turned into a week, I noticed another unsettling trend emerging: a decline in my driving skills. While I wasn't behind the wheel physically, the act of observing the road, anticipating hazards, and making split-second decisions was entirely absent from my autonomous commute. This lack of active engagement, I realized, was leading to a gradual erosion of the skills and instincts I had developed over years of driving. The ability to judge distances, react to unexpected situations, and maintain spatial awareness were all dulled by my passive role in the self-driving experience. This decline in driving skills raises concerns not only for individual drivers, but also for road safety. What happens in situations where human intervention is required? Will we be able to seamlessly transition from passive passenger to active driver when faced with an emergency? Furthermore, this reliance on automation could lead to a false sense of security. Drivers might become complacent, assuming that the technology will always function flawlessly. This complacency could have dangerous consequences, particularly in situations where human judgment and intervention are crucial. Beyond the physical and practical skills associated with driving, I began to ponder the cognitive implications of surrendering control to a machine. As my week of autonomous commuting progressed, I noticed a subtle shift in my mental state. My mind, no longer engaged in the act of driving, wandered freely. Sometimes this was a welcome respite, allowing for moments of quiet contemplation. But at other times, it felt like my mind was on autopilot, passively consuming information rather than actively processing it. This observation led me to research the cognitive effects of automation. Studies have shown that engaging in tasks that require focused attention, like driving, can help maintain cognitive function, particularly in older adults. Conversely, excessive reliance on automation can lead to a decline in cognitive abilities, such as attention span, memory, and problem-solving skills. While more research is needed to fully understand the long-term cognitive impacts of self-driving cars, the potential for both positive and negative effects is clear. On the one hand, autonomous vehicles could free up mental bandwidth, allowing us to engage in more stimulating activities while on the road. On the other hand, excessive reliance on automation could lead to a decline in cognitive function, particularly in individuals who are already at risk.